So again, law of cosines can be used if we have side, 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 or side, angle, side. This is the only formula that I personally have memorized, okay? And it's kind of easy to memorize. A squared equals b squared minus c squared, so that's a lot like Pythagorean theorem, but not. Then you have to subtract off 2 times these two numbers, BC, cosine of angle A. So the angle, or the side that you are trying to find, you have to know that angle for this to work. You also have to know the 2 other sides. Again, it's not always going to be A, B, and C's. It could be X, Y's, and Z's. So if you can remember that the side opposite of the angle that you have, those go in the very ends of this formula. Everything else are the 2 other sides. And you can't use law of cosines for methods that don't fill in this way. Okay, over here, this is if you want to find an angle. This is this exact formula just already solved for cosine A. Nope. This has been my week right here. There we go. Only took 10 tries. All right, so this one here is the exact same formula as this. It's just solved for the angle. Well, it's not all the way solved for the angle. It's solved for cosine of the angle. This would be if you want to find the angle, then you would set it up this way where you have b squared minus c squared, and then you subtract off the a squared, divide the entire thing by 2bc. Again, I only have this one memorized, so I just like leave this place empty and then solve for that, but you can have them both memorized. All right, so this is how we use it. 3 sides of a triangle, SSS. We need to find all 3 angles of the triangle. So right now you have only sides. So tell me first which angle, and let's not pick A. Let's like, I don't know, change it up. Which angle would you like to find? C. Okay, we're going to find angle C first. So when we set this up, it's not going to be a squared over here. It's going to be c squared. So I'm going to use the side opposite of c, 14 squared. Equals, now I'm going to square the other 2 sides and add them. 8 squared plus 19 squared. We always subtract off 2 times 8 times 19. Sorry. So you subtract off 2 times the other 2 sides. And then this is law of cosine, so we use cosine of whatever angle was across from 14 squared, which is C. So now you can use the other formula. You totally can use the other formula. I just want to show you how I do it, because if I can memorize less stuff, then I have more room in my brain for other things. Okay. So we want to solve this for C. So if we're going to solve this for C, we're going to subtract. Actually, they did it the other way. If we're going to solve this for C, I'm going to subtract these. It's going to be the same formula as above. 14 squared minus 8 squared minus 19 squared. And you know what? I'm not even going to bother to like type this in and find out what that number is, because it will be a calculator question. So from here, if I divide both sides by -2, 8, 19, I will get cosine C on the other side, right? But we have to find angle C. What do I actually need to use on my calculator to find angle C? What cancels out cosine? Cosine inverse. So I'm going to do on my calculator cosine inverse 14 squared minus 8 squared minus 19 squared all over -2 times 8 times 19. So go ahead and do that on your calculator. We're going to check to make sure we both get the same answers. This is where some of these newer calculators, it's nice to have this. Hi. Do I have a minute?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I do, but let me just pause. So you guys already do it. I'm slow. I want to make sure that those of you that don't have my same calculator also get the same answer. Like I can see, Dylan, you have the older calculator, right? And Prob, you know how I love your calculator, yeah. You got it? Good. As long as you know how to use your calculator, you're good. So measurement of angle C is approximately 41.124 degrees. We got one of them. Here's another thing that I really like about this calculator, because I'm going to do the second one and we're going to have to basically do it the same way, just move some numbers around. So when I copy that question again, I can just go change the numbers that I need to move around. So which angle should we find next? Any ideas? Or suggestions, I should say. B? Should find angle B? Sounds good to me. So angle B, when we go to find angle B, across from it is 19. So the 19 squared is going to be, what comes first? And then the other two, the 8 squared and the 14 squared, go on the other side, minus 2 times 8 times 14. And then cosine B. And we're going to solve that the same way that we solved for C. And again, you can use the formula if you want, but I don't have it memorized, so I'm using just solving. So it looks like all I have to do is change my 14 to a 19 and my 19 to a 14, since I just copied the same equation. Did you get 116.801 or something? How do we find the third angle? Cameron, did you find the third angle already? Tell me. Oh yeah. Do I need to do law of cosines for the third angle? Could I do law of cosines for the third angle? Sure. I mean, especially if it's on here, I can just like move around the numbers again. But you could also just take 180 and subtract off the past two answers. If you have the older calculators, you can't go up and grab it. And I got 22.075. Law of sines. I mean cosine. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So here's a different one. This one where we have two sides and the included angle. So we need to find the remaining angles and the remaining side of the triangle. Should I just do a squared plus b squared equals c squared? Why not? Why? It's not a right triangle. If it was, that'd make my life a lot easier, but it's not. So we're going to do law of cosines, and I need to find side A, so that's going to get the squared on the other side of the equation. Everything else is put on the right side of the equation. 15 squared plus 10 squared. Subtract off 2 times 15 times 10. Cosine, the angle that is given is 115 degrees. Where's my variable? By itself, all I have to do is square root both sides and I'll have the answer. So all I have to do is type that in my calculator. I don't even have to solve anything, which is, if you use the other formula, it's the same way. Now, if you have the older calculator, this could be a place where maybe storing this value, A, would be helpful to you. So I'm going to do it too if you want to play along, even if you have the new calculator. It is a helpful thing to know how to do. I'm going to do store, which is STO right above that on button. And then I'm going to store that as A, so alpha A. And now when I need A later, I'll just type in A instead of going to find that big long number. So we still have to find two missing angles. Which angle would you like to find? Anybody? B? Okay. So to find measurement of angle B, we're going to use the side opposite of B, 15 squared, equals 10 squared plus A squared minus 2 times 10 times A cosine, I don't know B. So if I solve that, I'll have 15 squared minus 10 squared minus A squared, which A is typed in the calculator. We'll divide that by -2 times 10 times A, which is also stored in the calculator. And then I'll do cosine inverse to find the angle. Yeah, you mean what I keep doing? Yeah, you just hit alpha, y equals, and then enter. But if you have the older calculators, it doesn't work. You will know if you have the, quote, older calculator. If you try it and it doesn't do anything when you do alpha, y equals, then yours is, quote, older. If you have a TI-84 and it doesn't work, you could actually upload this, you can update your software to make it work. To TI-83s, you cannot. And then prob, I don't know what's going on yours. So do you have like a fraction thing on yours? Okay, that's good. Oh, and then Kate, I definitely don't know how to use yours, but I assume yours has a fraction thing. Okay. So I got 104. Does that look right? That can't be right. What did I do wrong? Oh, I forgot to square my A inside. That's what I forgot. See how I can like look at my answer and not just write it down because it popped up on the calculator, but I like think about it and say, this can't be right. I must have made a mistake. And I learned that because I make a lot of mistakes. I learned to do that. 39.761 seems a little bit more reasonable. So measurement of angle approximately 30.61. So if I do 180 and I subtract off that last answer and I subtract off 115, I can find measurement of angle C. Does anybody have any questions for me? It's got to seem way easier after doing a lot of times. The pitcher's mound on a women's softball field is 43 feet from home plate, and the distance between the bases is 60 feet, as shown in the figure. The pitcher's mound is not halfway between home plate and second base. How far is the pitcher's mound from the first base? So we need to find from P to F. So we have a triangle. We've got a side, we've got an angle, and we've got a side. So we have SAS. That tells us we can use law of cosines. Liam, why'd you got your computer open? No comment? Do you have this packet done already?
No.
Oh, okay. Because if you work ahead and you're ready for the assignment, I'll give it to you. Actually, it's on Canvas. All right, so we're going to do side angle side, and we're going to solve for the opposite side. So since H is 45 degrees, little h is what we need. We're going to put little h all the way opposite of that cosine, 45 degrees, big H, in the formula. And then we know the two sides, 43 squared plus 60 squared minus 2 times 43 times 60. Ooh. Fix that so it doesn't look so ugly. We're solving for h, so it's already solved for h squared. Just need a square root and type it on the calculator. Anybody play softball in here? Is this true? This is a fact. Awesome. Did you know that number? Awesome. To the right decimal? Oh, okay. But you knew it was like 42 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. See? Real life application. What's up, Katie? Yours won't let you do it. Okay, I'll come see. Next one, a ship. It's kind of dark. If you want to like copy it again. A ship travels 60 miles due east, then adjusts its course northward, as shown in the figure. After traveling 80 miles in that direction, the ship is 139 miles from its point of departure. Describe the bearing from point B to C. So when you look at this picture, we have to describe the bearing from B to C. So if I drew one of those northeast, southwest right at B, and I'm talking about the bearing, I either go north or south first. If I'm going from B to C, am I going to go north or south first? North, and then which direction from there? East. So northeast. So our bearing is going to be like north something east. And you have to find that missing angle. I'm going to let you think for a moment while I look and see what's wrong with her calculator. And I'm probably going to redraw it because that's really dark. So the first time you put a negative, I just brought up. It's always something small, right? Something so insignificant. No. I need to recopy this. Even like for me, there's a glare from where I'm sitting here from this light being on. Okay, does anybody have an idea? Oops, I didn't draw this part. Do we have an idea of where we could maybe start? No? Anybody else besides the one no? Okay, we know all three sides. What do you mean for B? Can we find angle B? Is that possible? And when we find all of angle B, what's this right here? 90 degrees. So can we find this bearing? Of course we can. Let's use law of cosines to find angle B. So we'll do, you guys can use the formula in the front if you want, but I'm doing it using the formula I have memorized. So since I want angle B, I'm going to start with side B. I want you to know you're more than welcome to use that formula, but I don't have that one memorized, so I don't use it. I wrote this too high up. I can't get them both on the same screen. real life application.
How do you know that was a 90 degree
Because when we talk about bearing, we're talking about northeast, southwest. So it's got to be 90, right? Geometry. I didn't have you for geometry though, so just algebra 2. All right, this is the last thing. This is really, I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, last thing. All right, yesterday, whenever I had you last, whatever that was, we learned a formula for finding the area of a triangle using SAS. So do you guys remember the area using SAS? Remember that? Like if I say the area equals 1/2, it's going to be the two sides, since this is SAS, it's going to be the side 1 times side 2 multiplied by sine of the angle. Right? They had like A's, B's, and C's, but it's not always A's, B's, and C's, so I hate to like always give you examples that are A's, B's, and C's, because that's not real life application. Okay, so today there's a different formula. This is if we have side, side, side. If you know all three sides, you can find the area of the triangle, and this is the formula. It is square root. You have to take S, and you have to multiply that by S minus A, S minus B, and S minus C, where S is A plus B plus C divided by 2. So you actually have to do this first. And then so that you can use this S value in the equation. So here's an example. We have an area with sides 40. We need to find the area of a triangle with sides 43, 53, and 72. So I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's SAS. No, it's SSS, sorry. So we're going to find this little S value, and you're going to do 43 plus 53 plus 72, all divided by 2. Use your calculator. So that worked out to be 84. It's not always going to give you great answers. Your choices are you can keep typing in 84 over and over again, or if you want, you could store this as S. Up to you. Totally up to you. It's not much difference to type in an S or type in an 84. And then we're going to use our formula, and for work, I would like to see on your paper what you're typing in, just in case you made a mistake. If all you have is an answer and I can't see what you typed in, then I'm going to have to assume you don't have a clue what you're doing. But if I see the work, if I see area equals square root, and you do like 84 times 84 minus 43 times 84 minus 53 times 84 minus 72, and you hit enter. If you have the work and it's all correct, but you got a wrong answer somehow, then I'm going to take off less credit. Also, you could type in your calculator, and you could write on your paper S times S minus 43 times S minus 53 times S minus 72. If you stored it as S, I would be okay with you writing that on your paper as well. I just have to have some sort of work to grade if you get it wrong. Did we get the same area? See, I have to check with you guys because I just type things wrong sometimes. And then what would be our oops, it's not degrees. What would be our units? Meters squared, right. All right. So I have two things for you today, but they're not both due tomorrow. I have an assignment in the book, but you'll have to get to it on Canvas because nobody checked. Did anybody check out a book? If you checked out a book, you have your own book. If not, I did post the book link on Canvas, and then I've got the notes, and then the assignment is in the book, page 423. And then I'll put the answer key up soon. And then I also put a review worksheet. So if this went really fast and you just want to work ahead a little bit, because I know this week has a lot of tests for all of you. So anything that you want to get ahead on so that you're not cramming last minute. And then next week is exams, which I'll have an exam review for you soon. I just put up one of the things we're doing tomorrow. We're going to do two things tomorrow. That's just part of it, okay? Nope. Maybe I lied. That's what we're doing tomorrow. And then on block day, we'll do multiple things. So you're going to have like 2 days of review for your test. It'll be Tuesday and then block day. But really Tuesday, we're only reviewing 6162. We're not going to have a separate quiz on that. So that will just be on the test, basically. Your exam will be Thursday the 19th. So a week from Thursday. And remember, if you're doing a retake test, you have to have into me all of your, like if you're doing chapter 5 retake, then you have to have all of chapter 5 assignments turned in. You have to rework all the questions you missed on chapter 5, which you don't have the test, I do, so you have to be in here doing it. And then you have to do an extra review, which I have some extra reviews. Do not show up on Thursday the 12th and say, here's all my missing assignments, here's an extra review, can I rework those questions? I want to take this after school today. It's too late. Okay? Like you can take the test on the 12th if you've done these things ahead of time. Do you understand? And you can't take it on the 13th or after. So if you're dying sick and you really want to take that test, you have to make a decision there. Okay? All right. So go ahead and work on this and ask me questions. You guys have lots of time to work on it. Or if you have law of sines questions or you didn't check it because